Tesla cutting prices again. Seriously, again?
Again, they keep on rinse repeating, and I'm rinse repeating your outfit, so thank you for letting me be color coordinated today. It's interesting, isn't it, that we're seeing in this fight versus inflation, in this fight against a consumer that we're concerned about slowing down purchases, once again, Elon Musk just signals he is not worried about taking profitability down to keep the sales being buoyed. And basically it's because they're able to produce more. There's less of a supply chain angst around the chips. They're able to, having slowed down production in the third quarter that caused everyone by surprise, only pumping out, 435,000 cars. They're now managing to ramp up, manage to dial down the price, and what we're seeing about $1,250 taken off some of the lower range Model 3s and Model Ys.
Yep.
Higher range, you're seeing about $2,250 knocked off.
Caroline, is this a reaction to higher rates? I imagine that a lot of people buy these cars on credit, and the cost of that credit is going up. I'm wondering if the price cut is commensurate with the increase in the cost of financing.
Well, Elon Musk definitely has warned that the macro environment, he's not afraid to go out there and say, look, if you keep on hiking up rates, this is going to be a significant impact on corporate America. So maybe that is him signaling that he has to keep on taking down the price point. This is also, though, a competitive space. We've just seen BYD over in China almost neck and neck in terms of the amount of cars that they're producing now. I think they produced 430,000 in the third quarter, and Elon managed to pump out 435,000. So I think this is also just a competitive landscape for EVs, and he's having to show, look, that I can actually beat you when it comes to the amount that I produce, and therefore the amount of profit that I'm able to just siphon off. It's also interesting, Guy, that of course Elon Musk will come out and say, look, the way that I can prop up my profitability going forward is when you get your software upgrades. I can charge you more for that. But of course that all comes down to some autonomous driving as well.
Yeah, you know what's so interesting is that on first blush, you're like, ooh, maybe it's a demand problem. But I think you're totally right. It's just, he can do it. Like, he can undercut the competitors, and particularly the ones in the U.S. He can do it. It also shows that he can also change the price on Monday and actually raise prices. But the idea that, like, I can just make these cars cheaper and I can deliver them, therefore, thus, this is the new model.
And in such an incremental manner. I mean, it feels like every week, if not every day. I think it was only a couple of days ago, he stripped down some of the price point on the new extended range Model Y. So we're already seeing that he sort of just does it on a daily whim, as you say. Notably, we'll have to see how it responds to demand.
It's so interesting. So many people are talking to me now about the fact that AI is going to allow dynamic pricing in so many different areas, and you do wonder whether or not this is effectively dynamic pricing. We're not getting demand, we'll drop the price. Demand comes up, we'll raise the price. I wonder how dynamic this pricing model ultimately could become.
And how frustrated it makes people who've just bought the car. I mean, we know how much he antagonized Chinese consumers, because people had just put their money in, got the car, and then suddenly we see big price cuts. So, yeah, you've got to see how it impacts some of those loyal followings that he's already convinced to purchase.